Please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Jeffrey Gurian, comedy writer, producer.
Hey Jeff, what do you got going on today? What are you going to talk to these guys about? Here at
We're going to
Comical?
talk about all kinds of things. You know, my career is going great. I just found out I got the lead in a new poem.
A poem?
A poem, which is amazing. I mean, I've been in poems before. It's not my first poem, but this poem is different. I'm in every single stanza.
Did you have to audition for the poem? Did you check out a breakdown? What'd you do?
You can't ask too many questions about those things. I'm also,
Did you sign a non-disclosure about this poem?
Non-disclosure about the poem.
An NDA, as we say?
I don't want to tell them about the men's room I opened. I have a lot of stories on facial hair that I'm bringing from GNN, you know, is my news network, Gurian News Network.
Gotcha.
And it's all the news that's fit to dance to.
So speaking of hair, can we ask the obvious question? How do you get your hair to stand up that high over there?
Light socket, man.
Really?
Yeah, well, you know the deal. The Phil Spector fucked Elton John. That's what you get.
So what kind of news stories are on your news network?
Things like, you know, the hunter who was saved by his mustache.
Oh.
He was trapped in an Alaskan forest in the wilderness, and he had one of those big handlebar mustaches that he tended to twirl when he got nervous.
Yes.
Well, after being lost in the wilderness for 5 days, his mustache became magnetized and turned into a compass, and it started to spin. He realized his mustache was pointing north and led him out of the woods. It was amazing. So
wow.
His life was saved by his mustache. And his wife said, I always hated that mustache. Who knew that someday it would save his life?
Gotcha.
And I have stories about the guy who was, he tried to fly the Atlantic using only his beard to control the plane. Now, do you know what kind of neck muscles you need
I don't.
to fly a plane with your beard?
No.
Unbelievable. So
Yikes.
I tend to specialize in facial hair stories, like the guy who painted the replica of the Sistine Chapel with his beard. Now,
Did he?
You know, beard painting is kind of a lost art. Danny Lobel has a beard, but it isn't really good for painting because he keeps it kind of close.
Did this guy use like watercolors or poster paints? You know what kind of paint he used? He used oil.
Which is very hard to clean your beard afterwards. But
imagine.
the real beard painters, the guys who, you know, where it's a lost art, they didn't care about stuff like that because they had the really long pointy beards where you could dip it in and just kind of paint like that. It was an amazing thing, and you just don't find that anymore. It's a different world these days.
Gotcha.
I'm also going to be talking about the movie that I'm doing with Chris Rock.
Who's that? No, I
It's
kid.
a new comic.
Yeah, he's brand new.
The comic strip is having its 35th anniversary this year, and the owner, Richie Tinkin, is my partner, and I'm doing the book and the documentary film on the history of the comic strip.
Perfect. All right, well, looks like we're getting ready for you, and we'll check out that poem too.
That sounds great.
That's the headlining story.
Yeah, so check
over
out
here.
my site at jeffreygurian.com, JEFFREYGURIAN.com, or GurianNewsNetwork.com.